In this video, we're going to create 3 lists that we're going to use in our app. So I'm going to go to Blocks View, and then within Blocks View, we're going to use a brand new block that's a light blue called Lists. I'm going to click on Lists, and I'm going to make a list. Click, drag, drop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this gear to add more slots to my list because I need 3 items for my list. So now I have 3 items in my list. And my first list is going to be the questions. So I'm going to go to text and drag out the questions. And then I'm going to get my questions. I'm going to put them in here. Now I'm going to copy and paste just to make it a little easier. Here we go. What is the name of the first tech innovator? And then here's my next one. Who is the person who made the first code compiler? This is right from the guide if you're wondering where I'm getting these. You, of course, are encouraged to come up with your own. And who is the father of the internet? Who is considered one of the founding fathers of the internet? And his picture there. Okay, so these are the 3 questions I'm going to be using. And now the next step I have to do is I have to assign this to a variable. So I'm going to go down to variables, and I'm going to do this little block here, globe, the same one we used before. But instead of setting it to just name, I'm going to set it to questions because these are my questions. And then I'm going to snap it to that first list. And here is my first list. Now I'm going to make my second list following the exact same procedure, and I'm keeping all the variables, all the information, I should say, in the exact same order. So that first question that has Steve Jobs, I'm going to make sure I have Steve there for the answer. And the next one, I'm going to make sure I have Grace for Grace Hopper, who was the inventor of the first compiler. And then I'm going to make sure for the last one, oops, sorry. For this last one, I'm going to make sure I have Vint for Vint Cerf, who is the one of the founding fathers, and his image is going to be there. For the inventors of the internet, I'm going to make a variable, and I'm going to call this variable answers. And then the final one is a little trickier. It's those images. So I am going to make a list kind of similar for the images, but there is going to be a little trick I'm going to use to get these images into the list. And I'm going to use a little cheat where I go to images and then I get this one where it says set picture image, and I'm going to take this block right here. This is the block I want because then I don't have to worry about typing it. And I'm going to put this block here, but oh, that's wrong. Vint goes in the 3rd spot. So I'm going to duplicate that, and in my second pot is Grace. There's my Grace Hopper image. And in my first slot, I am going to put in Steve Jobs, and there's my picture of Steve Jobs. I'm then going to take the variables and our variable, and I'm going to name the variable not answers, but images. Notice all my variables end with the letter S. That's intentional. Also notice how I kept the images matching the pictures in the same order. So when I talk about the founding father of the internet, I'm talking about Vince. When I'm talking about the compiler, I'm talking about Grace. When I have that tech innovator, I got Steve Jobs. So that's the way you create your lists for your quiz project.